first down. You can't. I get Peyton Manning. He's great. He'll go down as one of the all-time greatest. And Tony Romo, I give him credit for at least saying, "Look, I could have. I try not to throw the game away or throw the interception, whatever." And how ironic, the dude who get and that was a good defensive interception. That was a good effort on that Trevetton's part. Because if you recall, Jeff, season opener versus Baltimore, that's the same dude who foolishly celebrated before he went into the end zone. Way to redeem yourself, Danny Trevetton. Way to redeem yourself. But yeah, Tony Romo should, regardless, because of the Cowboys, because of the America's team, and because Jerry Jones overhypes the dude, of course he's going to get blamed for all this, even though he may have played the best game of his career. But yeah, I do. Yeah, he does owe some accountability. He did throw the interception, led to the game-winning field goal. I'm just saying the defense should not. Let's not act like the defense shouldn't hold any accountability too. If you can't force a quarterback and an offense to punt, I mean, come on. That's just not a good look.
I agree with you, but neither defenses could play in that game.
Yeah, but it's easy for Denver. Now, in all fairness to Denver, you don't have Von Miller. I believe his suspension is up, so he'll be playing. Fortunately for him, against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh God!
I know. Look, Gio's in the house, busting my chops about being in fifth. Look at him in here. I know. We talked about it at the top of the show, Gio.
Yeah, it's 51-48. That's the second straight game that they scored.
Two teams scoring 99 points in the game. Oh, beautiful defense there. Beautiful defense. Instead of people talking about how great the offenses are on both sides, why don't you talk about how crappy the defenses are on both sides? Denver's defense sucks. Thank God they got Peyton Manning on it.
Defenses wins championships, but offense gives you the ratings. Offense.
Yeah. I mean, the offense was unbelievable, and the offense, to be unbelievable like that, has to be the defense sucked. And both defense sucked. Sorry, Monty Kiffin. Go back to the drawing table. The other team scored 51 points on you.
In your house.
In your house.
In Jerry's world.
That's right. The man who's worth a couple of $1 billion using a freaking flip phone, for Jimmy Cricket's sake.
You're not going to let that go.
That's
the flip
ridiculous,
phone.
Man. That is ridiculous.
And what I also liked about that game is Peyton Manning's little sneak warning move he did.
Yeah, that was nice, huh?
I was like, okay, Denver got stuff. I'm thinking to myself,
too.
wow. I'm thinking to myself, when I seen that play, Jeff, I was like, oh my goodness, Dallas made it forced a field goal or something. But camera looks up, Peyton Manning's running with the ball and goes into the end zone. Like, how the hell that happened?
I know. That was pretty. The camera got fooled too.
Yeah, the camera got fooled.
Yeah, camera got fooled as well. So it was a lot of offense scored in that game. I went back and forth. I was watching a whole bunch of stuff yesterday. I mean, it was crazy. I'm watching the President's Cup. I'm watching baseball. I'm watching football. I'm watching this. It was free. I had things going all over the place yesterday. It was ridiculous. I couldn't keep up.
I heard Tiger Woods had the game clincher for the President's Cup.
Thank God, man. I mean, they started the day off. They were so far ahead, it was ridiculous. And by the time it was over, they just won it.
And not only that, I'm not sure if you've seen the video or not, but his girlfriend, Lindsey Vonn, had the squirrel and put it on back of the dude's shoulder, and Tiger wasn't feeling it.
The first time, and then the second time, it was just sitting on his shoulder, and he was just. Did you see that?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I was watching that happen live when it was going on. I was watching that crap, man.
Sammy the squirrel. They named the squirrel Sammy.
That's pretty funny, huh?
Yeah.
That is pretty funny, man. But they had a lot of rain for that thing too. So Dallas and Denver play a great freaking game yesterday. A lot of offense, not really a lot of defense. Those teams, you got to watch the defensive side of both of those teams to see what happened in the future. Denver's next game coming up is a no-brainer. I mean, they're playing Jacksonville, for Jiminy Cricket's sakes.
Yeah, they scored more points yesterday than the Jaguars have scored all of the season.
And
And the Denver
Jacksonville,
Broncos Twitter avatar did that out. Jacksonville Jaguar Twitter response: "Stay classy, Denver." And then the Denver Bronco Twitter account responded, it's not stats, just facts.
I mean, Gio, didn't you at least have a radio with you so maybe you can listen to some football on Sunday for Jiminy Cricket's sakes? You always take a radio with you so you can blast out the music and annoy the people down the road from you.
So another good game yesterday. I thought this was a good game. This was from the 1 o'clock game. Seattle
What the
and
heck is going
Indianapolis.
on with that?
I mean, Seattle got off to a good start.
Huh?
It looked like it was gonna be lopsided. But Andrew Luck, man, he came through again. Another game-winning drive. That's the ninth of his career in Seattle. They do tend to struggle on the road, so that's nothing new there. But just how this team has persevered with Andrew Luck, this team only won 2 games on what pretty much turned out to be Peyton Manning's last year, and we Andrew Luck is the future of that franchise going forward. And Russell Wilson, he's got a bright future himself, and it's good to see some of these quarterbacks just emerging in front of our eyes. But Seattle, man, you had the lead, but y'all let it slip away. It's just Andrew Luck, man, and they're now 3-0 since Trent Richardson came along. He made some big plays himself.
Yes, he did. Yeah, it was kind of a wacky weekend, man. You know, I'm trying to get this computer to do what I want. Come on, you piece of crap. It was a wacky weekend.
Both teams are now 4-1. Back to Denver and Dallas. Denver is 5-0, and Cowboys, despite the loss, they still kind of on top of the NFC East.
And you know what? With the Giants losing to Philadelphia, at least they scored some points this time. The Giants. With the Giants losing to Philadelphia, Giants are still only 2 games out of first place.
Yeah,
can you imagine? They're 0-5. They're 0-5.
0-5 and still 2 games
yeah,
back.
Yeah, 0-5 and they're only 2 games back. How crazy is that? You know,
I mean,
the
Giant
game was ridiculous.
Not a single team in that division has a winning record.
You know something? I watched the Giant Philadelphia game for about 15 minutes on my computer. I saw what was happening, and I said, I'm not watching no more of this.
Now, in that game, Michael Vick did suffer a hamstring.
Yeah, that's
Nick Foles came in, scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to put the game away. And it's been reported that Michael Vick may not be playing this Sunday.
Yeah, I know.
Nick Foles will be starting this Sunday against Tampa Bay. But, people are wondering what the future holds for the Giants.
And you want to know something?
Eli, he's become the opposite of his brother
right now. And you want to know something? The Giants play Thursday night this week.
Yeah, against Chicago.
You want to know something? I'm not watching the game. I don't have the NFL studio. I'm not putting it on my computer. I'm not watching the game. I'm treating it just like every other Thursday night. I'll find out what happens on the computer later on. I'll find out who wins. I'm not watching.
And you have pointed out that you haven't watched a complete Giants game this season.
That's
so
correct.
Obviously that streak will continue. But man, what happened to this division? This usually a good division.
It's the worst division in football right now.
Worst, no winning record. I mean, that's just...
You know what? This division reminds me of the NFC West.
The NFC East is the NFC least.
Right? The old NFC West, when they all stunk. So when St. Louis and Arizona and San Francisco all stunk, and Seattle, all of them, and one of them just had to make it because one of them had to win. Remember that? 8-8, one of them went in.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That's what that division reminds me of now.
Yeah, so but
look at Gio. Gio refuses to pick now in the pick'em pool.
I mean, the only good thing about the Giants is that they're still 2 games back from the
That's the
division lead.
only thing
That's the
about.
only thing good.
That's the only thing good about
But
being 0 and 5.
they gotta start winning games.
0 and 5. Is that
And
ridiculous or
Eli,
what?
please stop turning the ball over every 5 minutes.
And then
I mean,
who else is 0 and 5? Pittsburgh's 0 and 5 too.
yeah, Pittsburgh,
Oh,
Jacksonville.
oh,
That's 3 winless
oh.
teams.
I
Uh,
can't. You know what? It's really disgusting to have to say that the New York Giants are just as bad as Jacksonville. That's really
well,
sad to say.
statistically, Giants are better, and on paper they are better.
But not
But
with the record, they ain't.
the record is just, let's just say they are equally bad
Mm.
as it pertains to their record. Seattle was, now they're undefeated no more. Another unbeaten loss yesterday. This was a toss up to me. I lean towards New England and the Cincinnati Bengals in an ugly game nonetheless. Beat this team
Come in.
13-6.
You know something? I had that game all wrong. Come
Yeah.
in. I had that game all wrong. I'm hearing the doorbell in the background, right? Yeah.
You go ahead and talk, Jeff. I'll see who it is.
Okay, go ahead. Just tell him to come into the house. That game was all wrong. I can't believe the Cincinnati Bengals. I can't believe that the Cincinnati Bengals stopped Tom Brady from continuing his touchdown pass in every game. Stopped him at 52. 5 straight games, Tom Brady had a touchdown pass in. He was going after New Orleans Saints Drew Brees' record of 54. And he was just 2 games shy. And the Cincinnati Bengals, Ebo's team, everybody picked against the Cincinnati Bengals except for Ebo. She took them. And we all lost. We all picked the freaking damn Pats. Sean, I'm going to kill you. We all picked the damn Pats and they lose to Cincinnati. She's the only one that picks them. Is that freaking nuts? Saturday night, she picked them. That freaking crazy. That's nuts. Not right. But I'm glad. Andy Dalton. Way to go, Andy Dalton. Way to go. You beat the Pats where Romo loses to the Broncos. Way to go, Andy Dalton. I said it was a tough pick for me because I wanted Cincinnati to win for Andy Dalton, but I think the Pats are going to win the game. So, hey, way to go, Andy Dalton. Good job. I'm very happy about that. Very happy about that. That was freaking great. And then Kansas City. Kansas City. About them apples right there. Kansas City keeping track with the freaking Denver Broncos in the AFC West. Kansas City, Alex Smith, Andy Reid and the gang, 5-0. Freaking 5-0. Unbelievable, huh? It's just crazy. 5-0. Beating up on Little Port, Tennessee, 26-17. Good game. I didn't watch it was on. Actually, I had a lot of good games on TV yesterday. I watched a lot of that Kansas City game because that was the morning game here, and I was up. I wasn't sleeping at all. So I was watching that Kansas City game. That was a fun game to watch because the Kansas City defense is playing unbelievable right now.
Yeah, they were.
They're playing unbelievable right now, the Kansas City defense.
Yeah. Sorry about that, y'all. That was a neighbor.
No worries, man.
And
no worries.
He needed my cell phone to ask a person to pick him up.
No worries, brother.
So,
no worries.
But yeah, I was hearing that you was talking about
the
Kansas City game.
Yeah,
that was
Kansas
another
City.
game I wanted to get into.
You picked Jesus, the New England Patriots in the game.
I did pick
Cincinnati,
New England,
right?
and I mean, no, Amendola did came back, but Tom Brady's streak, which was very interesting.
That's what I said too.
Yeah, 52 consecutive games with a touchdown pass came to an end. They only